message, especially for our clubhouse attendees. And so, without further ado, I'd like to pass the mic over to Sabine to introduce herself. She will also be sharing with you the purpose of today's event. Over to you, Sabine.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you. How's the echo now? Better? So I think, Joyce, you need to switch off one of your sounds on your devices. Maybe that is the problem. I muted both my devices and now it's okay. So welcome everybody today. Good morning for the people in Europe and good afternoon or good evening when you're on another continent. My name is Sabine Byens. I'm a massage therapist and I'm a master trainer in Qigong Massage. I'm also autistic. And in my life, I've been struggling very much with sensory issues, greatly. And what I have seen is that I didn't know that I had sensory issues. I really didn't. I was overwhelmed all the time, and my parents and my friends and people around me just didn't know that I had sensory issues. It was a sensation in my body that dominated my whole life. And what is very typical in autism is that we don't know that we have a problem. And that makes it even more, isolating, because you don't think you have a problem, so you're not asking for help. So sensory issues is something that is really very near to my heart to talk about, because it had such a big impact on me, on my life, and also on the life of my children, and on the lives of the children that I help with Qigong Massage. So today we will be talking about sensory issues in autism specifically. And I would like to ask you, Joyce, what is your experience with sensory issues? Maybe for yourself, maybe for your child, or the parents that you help. What are the biggest issues that you come across?
Can you all hear me now? Can you all hear me without any echo? Okay, good. I finally figured out what was causing the echo. Too much volume on all my devices. So yes, personally, I probably say that although I am not a person in the spectrum, I do at certain times just find things overwhelming. And we just kind of like, we can't take it, we just jump up and we get very agitated for things that most of the days we seem to be okay. There will be times when we just couldn't take it. Now I have a lot more experience working with different parents, and typically the parents who come to see me, the common complaint they have, Sabine, is that they say the children are not diagnosed autism. Of course, I do have some who are diagnosed autistic, but a lot of I would say at least 60% of the cases that come to see me, the parents have not diagnosed the child because they look typically quite normal, except being luckier than other kids. And they would come and they say the complaint from the school is the child is unable to pay attention. The child is unable to sit down. The child would scream and yell, and some of them would be just lying on the floor, and some will be just walking around the entire building. And I've also got a couple where there was concern that the child was not speaking. And also some parents who would come to me and say the child is speaking, but is speaking a language that I do not understand. And for me, to diagnose them, the form that Qigong Sensory Institute has got is very helpful, because just by having the parents fill in that form, I will already be able to see where their sensory issues are. And typically, they will be all above the score of a typical child. Okay, either in the sensory area or in the self-regulation area. That's what I have gathered. I would say that I really love massage. It's like come to my world, because before this, before I knew the sensory massage and I had these children, it was meaningless to try to teach them anything, because they just cannot calm themselves down to want to work with you. And I've had certain other programs which say, oh, let the child take the lead, befriend with the child, build a relationship. But I tell you, you can see them every week, for once a week. It's impossible to build a relationship. The parents are so tired with the screaming and yelling of the kid that they can't build a relationship. So whenever now I have a problem with parents who come or teachers who come and say, this child is just not fitting in school, we are having difficulty handling them at home, they are yelling, they can't tell us what is wrong, they just scream, they throw tantrums, I would straight away let them do the evaluation that is provided by the institute. And the minute it is identified that they have either sensory or self-regulation or both, I would put them straight on to the massage. And believe it or not, once they start on there, after a couple of weeks, you can start doing more things with them. So that's my experience, and this is Joyce that's speaking. Back to you, Sabine.
Yes, exactly. I agree with you, Joyce. Sensory children are just easily overstressed. They stay stressed for longer. It's hard to get them into relaxed mode, and they don't spend as much time in a relaxed mode as other children. And if they don't learn to come out of stress and relax, they don't learn well. And learning is only possible when you are relaxed. You need a relaxed body, a relaxed mind to be able to learn. And what we see is that the biggest stressor for parents of a child, whether your child has autism, whether you have a sensory child, whether your child is, has some other challenge, the biggest stressor is the behavior. Because as a parent, we want to well educate our child, and we want to parent them. And when natural and easy parenting doesn't come easy anymore, doesn't come natural anymore when we have a sensory child. And a lot of times I agree with you that the questionnaires, the surveys of the Institute they are golden, because they give us an instant view on what is going on and how important the sensory issue is for a child. And it gives also to parents some comfort that we have, pinpointed something that we can work on, because autism can be such a big topic, and it really impacts families so very much, and it's so tiring. You see, the excessive fatigue is the second thing that parents find a really big stressor, the fatigue of the child or the fatigue of the parents, because it is a struggle day in, day out. So if you haven't seen Dr. Silva's book yet, in the book at the back, there are the questionnaires, but you don't need to buy the book right away to have the questionnaires in your platform. When you go to the top left, you come to the main page of the website, and there you can download for free the questionnaires and fill them in, and then give them to me or to Joyce, and then we can discuss this with you and tell you if your child is really on the very more mild or more severe sensory spectrum. And actually, it doesn't matter whether your child has an ADHD diagnosis or autism diagnosis. I don't care about the labels. I just care about, can we help your child? And we can when we identify these sensory issues. So proper treatment is also a very stressor for parents to find the proper treatment, and also to not be disappointed by fallbacks after someone stops treatment. And what we see is, when we start doing the Qigong massage, it is the proper treatment for sensory issues. And the biggest, let's say, present is that, the progress that a child makes stays even when we stop with the Qigong massage. So let's dive in a little on sensory issues specific for autism. And sensory issues, also that is a big term. What we have, our senses, we have our eyesight, we have our taste, we have the smell, we have the hearing, and we have touch. There's also proprioception. That's a difficult word, and there's another word I don't remember. When we just go into the literature of sensory processing disorder, which is also, one of those labels, children often get categorized between sensory seeking and sensory avoiding. And sensory seeking children would be children that, have less feeling. Their feeling is numbed out, and that is why they are seeking action and touch and confrontation, just to feel something, because they are, their feeling is blocked. And then you have the sensory avoiding children, and those are, the hypersensitive children, which is the bigger group, that is the most known group. And those are the children who will just scream when there is too much noise, or put their hands over their ears when there's too much noise, or shy away when there's too much light. And those are very big reactions for parents. This can be also very emotional reactions. They scream, or they throw a tantrum, or they are avoidant all the time. They refuse to eat. They start gagging when they smell something that someone else doesn't smell. And what happens is that parents tend to turn their attention specifically to those senses, because the reactions are so big. And we tend to forget there is another sense, and that is called the tactile sense, our touch. And Dr. Silva did 16 years of research, and she found that touch in autism and in all those sensory kids is impaired. And the touch sense is actually the mother of all senses. And that is where we need to start. We need to start at the level of the touch. And yes, noise canceling headphones can be really helpful. I do agree, but you will not help your child heal from their sensory issue with just giving them noise canceling headphones. It helps calm down the child in the moment, but it's not, it's not helping them to overcome and to heal their sensory impairment. So if you really want to tackle the sensory impairment, tackle the sensory issues, if you want to make sure that your child can thrive again and grow out of the sensory impairment, then we really need to start at the level of the touch. Is that something that you can agree with, Joyce?
Yes, I do. I have actually got a question here from the audience. There is this question which I think you are in the best position to answer, although I yes to this, is can the parent also have this massage? What if dad or mom don't want touch themselves? Okay, so reason for asking this person is working with adults who have autism, and some of them don't want to be touched, and they act like a little child. So a child can be holding the parent's hand, but the parents just can't take it. So the simple summary of this question is there an age limit to the massage, or can adults have the massage as well?
So there is no age limit to the massage, but but there is something as asking for consent. When children come of the age of 14, 15 years old, I advise parents to talk to their child and to ask for consent, or to agree that we are going to do this, and to explain that why massage is important, even if you don't want to be touched, even if you are really the very avoidant type and push everybody away who comes too close, which is a very clear sign that the touch sense is blocked. It's a hyporeactive reaction. So I think it's very important to have consent. And for little children, yes, parents decide. But when you come of a certain age, you really need to talk about this and agree that we will try doing this, and we will start doing the massage for 2 weeks minimum. And it works. It works for children. It works for teenagers, for young adults, for older people. My oldest person that I treated was 78 years old. So yes, it works for everybody. It works for adults. But I think it's really important that you agree upon that you're going to do this, and that you have their consent.
So yeah, just to add on to that, my experience is for children who are already going into their early teens, from 10 years and above. I have had parents who have applied the massage on the child, and they can see a lot of changes. Okay, some child who typically seem so normal, but after the massage, you'll find that even their learning ability improves, because now they can focus and they can concentrate. I have had a child who came to see me when he was about 6 years old, extreme autism. He did the massage and he went over to the moderate. And until today, mom is still doing the massage on him. He's already 16 years old, okay, but he's enjoying the massage. And I remember on the Facebook page where we have parents coming back to share, there was even once a teenager who is 21, and he actually said that the massage gave him so much relief. So, Nancy, I hope I got your question answered. Feel free to put in other questions if you have. Now, for our Clubhouse members, Okay, welcome Jacqueline and Yenny back here, and I see we have also Cass, Ivy, and Ong joining us. This is a question and answer session. If you have a question for Sabine, we are currently running this on Zoom, live streaming, and also on Clubhouse. So while the Zoom participants can see each other, the Clubhouse participants cannot see the Zoom participants. But nevertheless, you are not deprived of a chance to ask questions. For the newcomers, if you see the raise hand sign on your Clubhouse app, just press that and I'll invite you up to put in your question and I will bring it forward, or Sabine will catch the question and we will answer. So please do come up if you have a question to ask us. So Sabine, carry on. What's next on our agenda?
So I think we have determined that, the sensory load really determines the degree of control we have in our life. So, and that is also the link that Dr. Silva made in her research. Her research really showed, the first thing that really came up, popping out, was that the touch sense was impaired, and that was, the first thing to address, and the only thing to address. That's, the touch sense, and that the sensory impact also impacts the degree of control someone has over their life, their self-regulation. And what we saw in research is that when sensory impairment improves, that self-regulation improves. And this is a very important one for parents, because parents want their child to thrive, and thriving children are, taking steps in life. They are just trying things out and growing and becoming more and more independent, and they start self-regulating. Now, self-regulating, when we see in the first year of when we are born, our first year of life, the nervous system matures. And what we see is that the child a typical infant starts to learn to self-regulate. So sleep starts to self-regulate, digestion starts to self-regulate, self-soothing, the child can calm down more and more. And what we will see is that a child is growing more attention. So it starts to make eye contact and listens and focuses. So, and what we see is that the first three of this little list, namely sleep, digestion, and self-soothing, are really important to be able to listen and to focus and to pay attention. And this self-regulation, this capacity to self-regulate, is directly linked to the sensory. So the capacity of sensory regulation. And what we also see, I think you've seen this, Joyce, I see that also in my practice every day with the children that I work with, is that when we are treating the sensory issues and the touch issue in the child, we see that they start to self-regulate, and the self-regulation, their growing self-regulation capacity makes that their behavior is becoming better. Because a child never behaves badly because they want to, because of a choice. A child, let's say, quote unquote, misbehaves because they have a need that is not being met. And I really love this massage because it really gives back parents the tools to see and to understand what their child needs. It's a different language to understand how a child, what is behind the behavior, what is behind the tantrum, what caused the tantrum. And very often parents, will look at external factors, which are very valid, of course, because that is what we see. What are the external valid factors? And there was too much noise, there were too many people, there was a bad smell, there was too much light. So we start to micromanage the environment. And that is so extremely exhausting. It's depleting. You cannot micromanage the world for your child. It's just impossible. So then people come to us and they're just exhausted because they've been micromanaging everything for their child, because they really do understand. Parents do understand that their child has a need. And we need to understand that there is also an inner world that needs to be managed. And the only way to really come out of this is to just go back in the body, in the feeling, and reactivate a sense of feeling, but also a sense of safety. Our touch is the first sense that really is activated when we are born as a little baby. We get to know the world through touch. The first thing that happens when we are born, we are touched. We are touched by, we are held by the mother, by the father. A newborn child is touched 1,000 times per day. They are stroked, they are cuddled. And that is how our nervous system knows that we are safe. And when, for some reason, this touch communication, so the communication from something or someone touching me, my skin, my body, if that doesn't feel safe, if that doesn't feel comfortable, if that doesn't give me a soothing experience, then my whole nervous system will turn to a stress and towards defense mode. So touch sense and self-regulation, they are really intertwined with each other. And as a parent, you will see when you address the touch issue, the self-regulation will just tag along by itself. You don't need to do anything about it. What we see actually, and that's one more thing before I will take more questions, that is, I don't know if you've heard of the sensory funnel, and that's a concept by Asperger experts. You can just Google it. And Asperger experts, they made a sensory funnel, and they said that's a funnel is, going like that. And at the bottom of the funnel, there are the sensory issues that block the flow of life and of growth, of the growth path. So if you address the sensory issues, awareness will come. And when awareness comes, focus comes. And when focus is there, we start to self-regulate. And a part of self-regulation is also learning to self-regulate our emotions. And when we can self-regulate and we can, just go on the flow with our emotions, our social skills come up. And we learn how to interact with other people because we first learned how to interact with ourselves, with our own feelings. And then we interact with all other people. And only then, only after we've really, had the sensory, the awareness, the focus, the emotions, the social skills, only then we will be ready to learn and to grow our executive skills. And unfortunately, especially in the autism way of therapy and treating autistic children, these executive skills, and so the executive functioning and the social skills are getting really too much attention. And so they're going about it the complete wrong way. It's it's like starting at the end of where you should be starting. Our brains have a certain order of to develop, and the order of development is also the order of healing. And it's really important that we follow that order in order to make sure that our children can heal from these sensory issues.
Yes, Sabine, thank you. Thank you for your share. Thank you, Sabine, for your share. In fact, I think the next question will lead very directly into what you have in mind. Now, we were planning to have this session running for an hour, and we have 15 minutes towards the hour for now, just as a timekeeper. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean that your questions should end here. All of you who have done a registration, you already have a link to the website that Sabine was saying. So if you have any questions that you want to ask over at the, I'm actually looking at the website right now. Sabine, there is actually, Sabine has got a contact over there that you could just write to her to ask her a question. For people who are on Facebook, you can touch on Sabine's photo, and she has got an Instagram and also an email address that you can direct your messages to. The same thing for me. If you actually just press onto my photo, for those of you who are new on Clubhouse, you will find my contact information, and you can carry on bringing your questions up to us, and both of us would look at them and we will come back to you with a joint answer. What Sabine has actually just said about us addressing what we think externally is affecting the child and trying to correct those behaviors, I have to second a mention on that before we answer the question by Shai, which actually brings into Sabine's next topic for today, is I had a mother who had a child that when he has a tantrum, he would beat the mother. So all of us would see this kind of a behavior as being unacceptable behavior. The child seems perfect, okay, but every time he's upset about something, he really beats the mom. And after undergoing through the massage for a period of 6 months, it just disappeared. So what was actually holding back inside him was the frustration, the inability to express himself, the inability to feel how it is to be loving. Now he even hugs his mom. He loves his mom. And the mom has not had so many kisses in her life, okay, after so many years of being whacked by the son. So anyway, Sabine, the next thing that we have as a question from Shai is how does the therapy session work, and are parents going to, is there a need for parents to attend the training before they can do the massage? So I think this is very, very close to what you will be sharing with the audience today. So I'll pass it on to you to answer.
Thank you, Joyce, and thank you, Shai, for your question. Yes, so the Qigong massage actually is a 15-minute routine that you as a parent will be doing daily. And it's 12 movements that are really easy to learn. It's not difficult. Every day as a parent, you will do this massage on your child. And once or twice per week, you will go to a therapist in your neighborhood that will help you adjust the massage to the reactions of your child, because it's really important that we adjust the massage to what your child needs. If you don't have a QST therapist near you, you can go on the website of the QSTI Institute and see the list of therapists. If you don't have one, A lot of therapists also offer to online support, and that works really well to do it by Skype or by Zoom. You can also do it online support. There are also parents um, who are very into do it yourself and prefer, doing this on their own, which is also fine, which is also really good, and it's possible. Dr. Silva's book, I will show you the book if I have it here. Here, Qigong Massage for Your Child with Autism. It's really a Bible. Everything is in there, and it has also online training material where you can learn the massage for your child. So if you don't find anyone, or if you just want to just dip in and see, is this something for me? Is this something for my child? Would we be doing this? Then I would advise you to buy the book and to just start, and then you will find Joyce and me if you need any help along the way. Um, Next week, I will also start an online book club for parents who want to dive into the book together with a bigger group, with peers, and also for parents who've already been doing the massage and want to reread the book or want to just freshen up their knowledge. Also for therapists who are already treating children to fresh up on their knowledge. I invite everyone actually to come into the book club and join our conversation about this Qigong massage. And you will have access to me for the next 5 weeks, where we'll be going through the book again for people who have read it before, or for the first time when you are new in this. Along the way, you will see whether you need, more individualized support, or group support will be enough for you. I think this is a really easy way to ease in the Qigong massage and to get to know it.
Okay, so just to add on to what Sabine have just said and to my own experience, I have had a mum who it was unable to come over to see me for training, and she bought the book and she did the DIY at home. She experienced the same level of improvement as a parent who was trained by me and handheld by me for the period of 6 months that they were doing the massage. I also have parents who just come to me, learn the massage because they just want to make sure that what they read, what they understand is the correct way to do it. So they just come for the training and then they do everything on their own. And 6 months later, we meet up, we do a review, and the child improves as well. So in Malaysia, to make short, for the people in Southeast Asia, we do not have a therapist in our location. The nearest therapist is based in Australia. What we have over here is myself as a parent trainer. We actually have another parent trainer in Penang who is around. Her name is Anne. If you know of your friends who are in the northern part and they want someone nearer to them, let me know and I can direct you to her. But in Malaysia, we actually have two parent trainers. I was the first one, but she came on board later. So for the rest of the region, you can actually just go back to either myself or Sabine, and we'll be happy to give you, a direction on your location as to who you could go to. But it works. That is the beautiful thing I like about the massage. It works. It is the most beautiful therapy that I have ever seen, because at the end of 6 months, the child will change. I've never seen a therapy that is so powerful that the child really changed, because we all go to therapies every now and then. And then the first question you ask them is, when will I see results? When will changes take place? And the common answer you will have is, it depends on the child. Some will be sooner, some will be later. But in the case of a Qigong massage, since 2012, when I have been doing it, I can be telling you that within 6 months, you will see a very different child. Okay? And before we leave the section, I'm happy to have actually a family here with me, where grandma and mom have consented that they would share their experience. So we're going to leave that excitement towards the last bit of it, where they will let you know the kind of joy they had after the little young handsome boy, who is now in year 1 of his school, benefited from the massage. So do it your way. And I am actually providing the parent training, if you are interested, online. And you have no worries. You won't be the first one. I have already done many of the sessions online with the parents. On Clubhouse, I have also got parents who are currently listening in, and they have learned the massage online. They are currently doing it on their child and beginning to start experiencing changes in the child without doing anything else, but just the massage. So, Sabine, before we close the session afterwards, let's this be a family couple to just say a few words. But now, with your book club, what Sabine is offering now is an extra. You not just have a DIY, you not just have the choice of a parent trainer, a limited choice of therapists depending on the region you're at. She's now going to go through the book. If you purchase the book, to go through the book with you and walk through. She won't even train you on a massage. You would expect that you have either looked at the video and tried the massage, but going through the different chapters of the book and what Dr. Sylvia was actually saying, so that you have a better understanding of the whole thing. So this is something that has never happened before. Okay, and you're getting this access with her now for the period of 5 weeks. And Sabine, can I actually just share what is the golden nugget for these 5 weeks? Because I'm very sure the next question that some of you may ask is, how much would it cost? And the good news is, we are bringing, or Sabine is initiating a program to bring this massage over to you together. And so what she has decided in supporting this initiative is she's running this book club at a donation drive, where you pay what you feel you would be comfortable with. Okay, so that she could accumulate the funds and bring the massage down to Uganda. I got the facts right, correct, Sabine? Right, so for 5 weeks, pay as you feel it is worth. That's all she's asking for. But of course, you must have the book. And there was a question about, how can I purchase the book and join the book club discussion? To purchase the book, on my side, I would tell parents that you have a few choices. You can go to bookdepository.com. The book is available there. It ships right down to your doorstep. You can also buy it from Amazon.com, and you can also buy it from the Institute. And I believe, Sabine, you're also having the books with you. Can you take that question, please?
I don't have any books anymore in stock with me. So I agree on your 3 options. So there is the book depository, there is Amazon, there is the Institute. But the problem with buying the book directly from the Institute is shipping costs. So if you don't live in the United States, I would not advise to buy it from the Institute. And here in Europe, some bookshops have the book. And in Belgium and Holland, there is also the bol.com website that has the book. So just Google it and you will find it. For the book club, you can go to your dashboard in the online website, on the website, and there you will find the book club. And then when you have registered to the book club, you will find the links to Amazon, to the Institute, and I can add the link of the book depository. I forgot to add that one, so I will update.
For my case, okay, if you're over down here in Malaysia or in Southeast Asia, go to bookdepository.com because you have a landed price in your own local currency, and it is also much cheaper than buying it from Amazon. So that's where I get books for all my parents. So maybe before we actually close off, I would like to invite Khatija and her daughter to just say their experience of the massage and share with us. Over to you.
Hi. Hello.
Khatija, we can't hear you. You on mute?
Hi. Hear me? Hi.
No voice, Khatija.
Okay.
I can hear you clearly.
Can you hear me?
You need to put your mic setting. Okay. Okay, we come.
I can hear her, Joyce. It's okay for me.
Hear you. Yeah, let me know when you're.
Okay. Can you hear me?
No, it's not coming through. I think when you went to your setting, you didn't actually say audio. You didn't set audio on.
Joyce, we all can hear her. You can't hear her.
I will share Khatija's input with you, with Sabine and the group, and we'll find a way to just send it over to you so that you can
Joyce?
her experience.
Joyce?
Can you hear me, Sabine?
I can hear you, yes, and we can all hear her. You're the only one who is not hearing her. So maybe your ear.
Suddenly, I'm not hearing voice.
I think your. Check your headphones. Check your connection.
I can't hear you.
Check the connection of your headphones.
I can hear you now.
Okay, hi. Good evening, everyone. Okay, I'm just going to say a little bit about my grandson. At the beginning, when I noticed my grandson, he was not answering to me in any way. When I called out his name, he would just keep quiet and continue to do something else. And then I thought that there must be something wrong in him, but I just don't know what was it. So, and when I was working, one fine day, this lady here, Miss Joyce, came up the staircase, and she was like an angel to me because I was a good friend of her. And then it happened that I had to talk to her. I don't know for whatever reason. Then I said to her, I think I have a little bit of problem here with my grandson. When I call him, he doesn't answer me, but he will always hug me. And I don't know that, what was the problem. And then she said, okay, fine. What you do is you just fill up a form, and then I will see what I can do for you. And then I immediately did that, and then it was so fast that she gave me something new in my life. You see, a beginning in my life. She really introduced me to this massage, and for me it was quite it was just a little bit. I was feeling quite funny about it. I was, feeling like, really, will this really work for my grandson, just massaging? And, I had the 50-50 feelings first, but of course I trust Joyce because she's a good friend. So what I did was, okay, I studied up, and it was not easy. My grandson was a little bit difficult. He doesn't want to listen to anyone or whatever. But later he was reacting with Joyce. He could just, when he sees her, he gets so excited about seeing her, and and he would try to talk to her and do little things and start playing with his toys, and and then he remember next week I need to go and see teacher Joyce, and I will do something about it. And that has changed. And today, and I can proudly say that my grandson has gone to standard 1, and he is such a young gentleman, and I'm so excited, and I must thank to Joyce to have brought up this massage session with me, and it really worked. It really worked in my life. And every time when Joyce says, I'm going to have a therapy session or whatever, I say I would like to join in, because I want to tell the world that this thing is really working. And it has worked. Whether or not someone wants to believe it, I'm a living example. And I love my grandson. And just last week I saw
testimonial. So, Sabine, I shall pass the session to the closing. We are actually going to be closing the section now. And as Sabine said, if you found today's session useful, please feel free to share the link that you did your registration with your friends, because the recording will be available all the way until the 12th of July. After that, we will be rolling out the book club. So, Sabine, do you want to say anything before we close the room?
Yes, thank you, Joyce. And thank you, everybody, for being here today. Yes, exactly. So the recording of this session will be, stay available until the 12th of July. Yes, exactly. So the recording of this session will stay available until the 12th. I have an echo. Okay, and everyone who registered with the link, they will get an email.
Sarah, can you off your mic?
So everybody who registered with the email, they will receive, with the link, they will receive an email with an invitation to the book club. And if you feel like this would be something for you, then please join us and join the conversation, because we will be really have a conversation. I want to hear you. I want to listen to you. What will you be needing? I hope maybe Joyce will join us in the book club, and we will help you. And we will go through the whole material of this wonderful, we call it the Red Book, and it's a Bible. You cannot imagine how much valuable information is hidden in this book. It truly is a Bible. I cannot say this enough. So I'm really excited to do this book club, because this has never been done before. And I think we need to reach a bigger audience. And maybe this book club could be a way to reach a larger audience. So if you know people who have, sensory kids, then invite them to the book club, and let's go through the book and read and tell each other your stories. So that's it. Thank you, Joyce, very much for hosting this session today. And thank you, everybody, for being here. And I hope to see you all again, maybe in the book club, maybe back on Clubhouse, or on another Zoom session. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Okay, Sabine, before we leave, I think Yenny has, oh no, I thought she wanted to ask a question. No, it's fine. Okay, I thought Yenny wanted to ask a question, but it's okay. So thank you, everyone. For those of you who are on Clubhouse and you would like to continue following us, please touch the photo of my photo or Sabine's photo, and you will be informed of other sessions that we will be running. Sabine will be very specific onto the Qigong massage. So if she ever holds a room with me or on her own, it will be related to the Qigong massage. For myself, I have a club called Disability or Opportunity because it's really up to us to see it. If we feel that our child is different, we could call it a disability and worry about it, or we could look at it as being differently able and look at the positive side. Thus the name Disability or Opportunity. In my club, I run about 2 sessions a month, and we will be addressing parenting topics, parenting challenges, mostly for the differently able children, but we also talk about general topics which affect learning in a typical developing child. So if you click both our profiles and do a follow, if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, then you just click the notification, and you'll be notified whenever I run a room. So thank you to everyone who's on Clubhouse for joining us, and also every one of you who has been on Zoom. It has been a great 1 hour. We didn't get to answer a lot of questions. Some of you are probably also digesting the information. Shai, I will do an offline chat with you regarding the Qigong massage training, right? And just post questions. Just post questions to Sabine or myself when you think of them after the session, or watch the video, and you can write to us anytime. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.